Hello, and welcome to Instructor Video 9. This is going to be short because my husband is back to work and my baby is sitting right there. And he might interrupt me, but so I will just let you know a few things. So for this week, you are supposed to work on your pachakachas, or looking at some examples of pachakachas from the Pachakacha website that we talked about briefly in class. Make sure that you find one that proposes something or a solution to some kind of problem. That's what you're looking for when you look through some of these pachakachas on the Pachakacha website. And your responsibility will be to evaluate that pachakacha based on the elements of a proposal that we discussed in class. It's also, those elements of a proposal are also listed in your Harbrace Guide to Writing on page 278. So you can use those as a guide. Your pachakacha evaluation that you post in forums under Pachakacha discussion is due by Friday at 11 p.m. So give yourself some time to look through and watch some pachakachas. Remember, they're each about a little over 6 minutes long. And you give yourself some time to find one, and then give yourself time to write your response in 200 to 500 words. I said 200 words originally, but it may take a little bit more than that, so I'm opening it up to more words if you need it. For your evaluation, you're going to need to include a hyperlink to the pachakacha so that your group mates can actually go to the pachakacha and watch it after you've posted it. So make sure you copy and paste that hyperlink. There's actually there's a hyperlink icon in the text box where you input your forum post, where you type in your forum post, so you can use that hyperlink button. I think it looks like a globe with a little lock in front of it. So you can click on that and insert a hyperlink to your pachakacha. So you'll need to figure out the title of the pachakacha, who is composing or presenting and who the author is, what the problem the author is attempting to pose a solution for, what group of people that the problem concerns, and you have to figure out whether the presenter seems to be meeting the needs and interests of that audience. Also, you need to talk about the solutions that the presenter gives for the problem, and do they give step-by-step instructions for how to solve this problem? Does the presenter make the solution sound feasible? Do they talk about the costs, the time commitments, and the human efforts needed to implement the solutions? Hi! Yeah, it's so exciting, isn't it? Proposals. So also, do you think the audience will find the solution acceptable? And then, so you're looking at both the content, what the presenter is saying, the content of the pachakacha, but also the form and how they're putting all the multimodal components together to create a successful presentation. You want to look at the graphics, the sounds, what the slides look like, did they use any video, how did the person speak, and then so basically overall, how well did the presenter bring together all those different modes? Yeah, are you talking? Are you talking? In order to, create a successful presentation, not only a proposal. And then for your peer response, that's due in 200 words or more by Sunday night. Basically, for your peer response, you're going to watch the pachakachas that each of your group mates uploaded, and you're going to put one response where you basically vote for the one that you think is the best pachakacha out of all the ones, including yours, that your group mates put up there. So talk about, why it was a good presentation and a good proposal. And support your response with evidence, and that's in 200 words or more. So basically, I'm looking for your group to kind of maybe agree on or disagree on which one you thought was most successful. Make sure in order to be present for this online class, you have to answer all the questions and follow the directions while you're submitting those responses about the pachakacha presentations. Also, be sure to meet with your group in person to discuss Project 4 presentation. Use that brainstorm sheet, the Project 4 brainstorm sheet that I gave your groups in class. It was a white sheet with some questions on it. On the back, you were supposed to start with a sketch of the place or space that you're thinking of talking about a problem and a solution for. So you can also find that brainstorm sheet in resources, and it'll be attached to the announcement for this week. So if you need it in electronic copy, there it is. Your report, which is due Monday at 11, is another group forum discussion. I'll call it group meeting summary. And for that group forum, you'll just need to list the names of the group members who attended the meeting, when and where you met, for how long. Briefly discuss your group's responses to the first 6 bullet points at the bottom of the Project 4 brainstorm sheet. So just the first 6, and just kind of briefly tell me what you're thinking about for your topic. Also, I want to know what you accomplished in the meeting. What are your... I know, I hear you. I'm almost done. What are your group's goals and next steps moving forward? Who's going to be responsible for what part of the presentation? Who's going to do the technology? Who's going to say what parts? Everyone has to speak, but who's going to say what? And then how you're going to collaborate on the PowerPoint. Are you going to do it via email? Are you going to work on it together in person using Google Docs? And also, I want a photo or scan of the brainstorm sheet. So take a photo of that and upload that to the forum discussion, just so I can see you're using that to help you walk through that process. And it's really important not to skip that brainstorm stage, because brainstorm and invention is such an important part of brainstorming and inventing and coming up with ideas is such an important part of the writing process that if you skip it, you might miss some really cool things that you just didn't give yourself time to think about because you didn't go through the steps of brainstorming. So use that sheet to guide you and help you come up with some good ideas for this presentation. Finally, you have a 25-page reading due for class on Tuesday. It's an academic article. It's one of the more famous articles in our field of composition and rhetoric. It's by Kathleen Blake Yancey, who's one of my heroes in the field of e-portfolio studies, electronic portfolio studies. And it's a really cool piece about, the new literacy in the 21st century and what it means to be a literate person, basically, in the 21st century. And she's talking about you guys, and she's talking about how writing teachers need to change what we do in the writing classrooms in order to accommodate the needs you guys have in the world outside of college, especially as it relates to technology. So it is 25 pages. Make sure... What? You okay? Coffees. Make sure that you annotate it, print it out. I want this in hard copy. I'm going to collect your hard copy on Tuesday. Make sure you annotate it, meaning you put notes in the margins, notes all over, where you find important points that the author's making. Underline or highlight important quotes, and try to summarize in 200 words the main point that Kathleen Blake Yancey is making. And I will collect this in hard copy, and I will collect your printed summary just to see that you actually did the reading. This is the longest reading I'm asking you to do for the semester. So, and my goal is to get you to, learn what it's like to actually sit down and read a whole academic article, because that's what this is, an academic article. And a lot of students just skim through them and don't actually read them. And I tried to pick one that is kind of important. It's interesting, and I feel like we can have some good conversations about it. We'll see how it goes. This is the first time I've ever had a class, an undergraduate class, read it. Mostly graduate. This is sort of like graduate level reading. So let's see how you do. Yeah, so I will collect that in your summary in hard copy. So bring them in hard copy to class. I won't accept electronic stuff, so make sure you print it out. And I know it's 25 pages of paper, but it's the only thing I'm asking you to print out of this size for the whole semester, so please do it. And I look forward to our discussion, and I hope you guys have a great time in your groups and you get some stuff done talking about your presentations. Come up with some creative ways to engage your audiences. And I will see you next Tuesday. You want to say bye-bye?
Say bye to my class. That was good. You did so good. You did so good.
Say bye-bye. Who's up there? Who's up here? Who's up there? Trying to get him to smile for you. Who's that? Anyway. Okay. Say bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There we go. All right, you guys, have a good week, and I'll see you on Tuesday.